Just like the presidential primary, things are running smooth today. What we're seeing right now is a wait time, for those lines are right now under, 2 minutes, about 1 minute. So we're not seeing any lines. We have the new electronic poll pads that we've been talking about for, really about a couple of years now. But it just allows everyone to really get their, cards so that they can go and vote very quickly. What we've seen, right now, based on, kind of guesstimating, there's probably been 100,000 people that have voted already today. But that's just a guesstimate, but it just looks like it's smooth, very regular. The voting turnout that we've seen so far is a little bit stronger than the presidential primary. So everyone's out there exercising their vote. But plenty of time left, and we'll just see where it all goes from here. I'm really pleased with the ground game and what the work of the counties to be prepared for this, along with our team. Does anyone have any questions, since we're starting off so smooth? So I see someone from, is it the Atlanta Journal-Constitution?
That's right. No election is flawless. Have you seen any issues crop up today across the state?
Virtually none. Nothing I really can report on, so it's been very, very quiet. So we're really pleased with that. The counties understand how important this year is, how highly scrutinized, that this really is probably the focal center for elections in America. But Georgia does lead in elections. We've shown that we have the cleanest voter rolls. We have the shortest lines because we put it into state law, but we've worked with the counties to make sure that counties had the resources to keep those lines short. We understand how important it is. The only issue we've had is obviously return of the absentee ballots, and that's really through the Postal Service. So if that's where you are today as a voter, come out and vote in person, and the counties they'll take care of you at the precinct level so you can cast your ballot today.
How is turnout compared to past elections? I know typically voter turnout can be low when we're looking at this period of election.
Yeah, the challenge that we have is that 2020 was that outlier. So if you compare it to 2022, that was a gubernatorial year, not a presidential year. So you'd almost have to go back, looking at where were we in 2016 and 2018 and try and see where we are. Right now, we are ahead of the PPP. We know that much. And we're probably tracking in that range of where we were for 2022. But at the end of the day, depends who shows up today. No one has an excuse not to vote today if you haven't voted yet. First of all, we've got just a tremendous day, beautiful weather, no rain. So hopefully people do, heed our, strong encouragement to come out to vote.
Do you know of any precincts that had to open late because of a technical issue or anything like that?
Hadn't heard about that yet.
I still hear concerns about 2020 and allegations that about what happened then. Some of them, there were some problems, but also most of the conspiracy theories have not been borne out. What do you say to people here, 2024, we're still dealing with issues from almost 4 years ago? How do you explain that our elections do have accuracy?
I think every person in Georgia needs to understand, no matter how you vote, absentee, early, or election day, we have photo ID for that. That has elevated security, but also, I believe, elevated voters' confidence in the process. We also, with SB 202, the Election Integrity Act of 2021, require on election day that all lines are shorter than 1 hour. And right now, the line time is 1 minute. So counties have really heeded that message, done a great job, and we've worked with them, so they could structure the precinct side with the number of equipment that they have to make sure they have the throughput, so that works. And then we're having audits. We can audit any single race, and we've also put into law to do additional audits. What people need to understand what happened in 2020 more than anything else is there was about over 30,000 Republican voters that voted on the general primary day and then did not come back and voted all in the fall. And so that's a campaign issue, and they need to make sure you turn out your voters. But at the end of the day, we have a safe, secure, accurate elections here in Georgia. We have the cleanest voter list in the entire country because we partner with Department of Driver Services. So if you actually get a driver's license in any other state in the country, we will be notified about that. And we then can reach out to you and say, well, we just know you got a driver's license in Texas, North Carolina, North Dakota. Did you move there? And they can come back and let us know that. Then we're also a member of ERIC, the Electronic Registration Information Center. And then we actually then get information directly from the federal government on the death records. So we make sure that we have very clean, accurate voter rolls. We've actually been the first Secretary of State to do a 100% citizenship verification to make sure that only American citizens are registered to vote, only American citizens are voting here in Georgia. And so we've proven that. And so we fight every day. Our team, we have a strong team, we're fighting every day to let people know we have fair, honest, and accurate elections.
I know there was some concern because of redistricting that it might lead to some confusion at the polls, but it sounds like we're not seeing that.
Not really. I know that Macon Bibb put out, the election director put out a little, warning to everyone, check, that you're actually in the right precinct. I actually got my card yesterday from Fulton County. I already had voted early, telling me that I voted at Johns Creek High School. But those are the type of things, what district, what congressional district. Oh, I was in this district before, so I started in the 6th, then I was in the 7th, so I'm back in the 7th. But it's kind of like, I've bounced around in my own district, and people have in other parts of the state. So checking that information, and we just really want to be very proactive, and the counties have really worked hard on being proactive on that. So that's a good question. Thank you.
All right.
Well, we'll be back. Probably we'll do a little noontime briefing, and then I'll be back at 4. We'll have some more information. So it looks like it's going to be relatively quiet. Can't make any predictions, but it's starting off to be very uniform and quiet throughout the entire state of Georgia. Thank you.